America, we can't live while they save America. Trying to make us genderless. This world is crazy. Old men can't have babies. The humanize the ladies. I can't believe this. Men can't have periods. If your stomach hurts.
You're not going to me, right?
So we're out
You're
here,
not going to me, right?
3 dill weeds and a blue flag,
And you're lying.
and as you can see
you're
what the
lying.
score reflects,
And you're lying.
I won twice.
You suck.
The sore loser over here.
You won just a joke.
So, pat the camera back.
Hold on a minute.
They pray over you, basically.
No.
A priest does that?
No.
Yeah, they do that.
They didn't do
Usually
that.
Catholic
well,
That's what I'm.
Do they do that in church or at a separate ceremony?
Well,
no,
can
they
do
went
it
to my
both.
house.
They've done both.
Yeah, it's both ways.
And that's what I'm trying to get to.
So when they do your
that's what I
house,
need.
they bubble your house.
Okay, so I'm trying to think back because I was very little. I was probably like 7, 8 years
And
old.
they definitely called it an intervention.
They called it an intervention.
I'll have to look.
But
that
again,
up.
Jehovah's Witnesses are a little different.
Yes.
I mean, they have the same Bible. They believe in a lot of the same things, believe it or not, but they're a little different. They called it an intervention, but it wasn't like a true exorcism like you see on TV.
Right.
But did they pray with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or pray over you.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess yeah.
So
Whatever you call that.
maybe it is equivalent to a deliverance or
Yeah,
exorcism.
maybe.
So when they were praying over you, were they saying like biblical things from the Bible and
Yes.
saying demon
Yes,
get out,
yeah,
demon
that's-
get out?
No,
No.
they weren't saying demon get out, but they were reading scriptures. And so what happened was they were having me explain my dreams and what I was technically seeing
Yeah.
Right.
and feeling.
Yep.
And then they started just reading scriptures from the Bible
Right.
and praying with me.
I guess it's kind of not exactly, but some parts of it is like a
Right.
like deliverance or exorcism.
Because what I saw in the documentary on TV, so this Catholic priest was doing it in the church, and he basically would ask the guys, so what have you done? What do you think that you have done to open these doors? And the guy was like addicted to like masturbation, and that was his problem. And then, so he said the prayers over him, and then while he was saying the prayers, he would have the crucifix and the holy water, and he'd put that like the crucifix on his forehead, and then take the holy water and just spray him like a little bit like this with the holy water. And then he would then the guy would start speaking like a demonic language, and he'd say, "Come out of your body, come out, demon come out, demon come out." And you see the guy just start cursing and saying all kinds of stuff.
But the thing is, I was never possessed by a demon.
No,
Right.
that's what they thought. But I'm just saying this is the process of what
that's
they
what
do.
they thought.
Right, but
Exactly.
sometimes too, you won't necessarily know that you're possessed. Sometimes you could be possessed, but you don't know. For this,
That must have just confused the shit out of you, didn't it?
Exactly.
You knew
To
what
be
was
honest
going
with
on?
you, I knew what was going on.
You were just having weird
I
dreams?
knew my body. I knew my mind. I knew my intuition.
So what did you think of your mom at that point? Like, what is she putting me
I
through?
said I knew right then and there at the age of whatever I was, 7, 8. Okay, I can't tell my mom anything
Yeah,
anymore.
right,
Right,
Right.
'cause she don't believe you.
I
Well,
gotta
this is
just,
what
I
you're gonna
gotta,
have
I
to
gotta
deal with.
deal with this by myself.
Right. Wow. If she tells her mom.
So
then
since
this
I
is
was
gonna happen.
that, that's right.
right.
So since I was that old, that's why I loved Karen.
Mm-hmm.
I loved her. I was like, you were supposed to be my mom.
Yeah, 'cause she's
You
awesome.
have said and justified and verified and just made me feel like I
know,
am
that's such a huge
normal.
mind fuck.
Remember she saw you and she said, "I feel like I know you."
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she told me I looked like Jodie Picoult. But we had a connection. And remember, I kept saying, God damn, I think I know this lady.
Yeah.
Like I know her from
And then
somewhere.
she told me in the text too. She goes,
And the
"I
funny
feel
thing
like I
is,
know
she
her."
used to be a hairstylist. And then started, like, getting into her mediumship. And
No, you were meant to meet her to straighten your head out.
Yeah.
I swear to God, like, I felt like I knew her in a past life.
I can't wait to meet her now.
She's
awesome.
awesome.
That's why I was telling you she was awesome,
She's
and the experience is
awesome.
awesome. And when you meet
For
the,
me, she was anyways.
and when you meet
I
the
mean,
guy from Ghost Hunters, he's funny. He cracks
he's
jokes and
very
everything.
funny. He's very funny. Yeah, the guy from Ghost Hunters, like the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the original show.
So Kieran is more like angelic and, like I said, bringing humanity to spirituality, whereas
I can't
Carl.
Carl, yeah, Carl.
Carl Johnson.
Johnson, yep.
I think his name is.
Yep.
he ran the show Ghost Hunters, but he's more on the demonic aspect, which I'm more like what Karen is, but Carl was very interesting and funny.
Carl will show you pictures that'll blow your mind. He was like at a
Yeah.
place where this girl was demonically possessed, and he has a photo of her face changing into a demon. And then he has another photo like in a house that they were ghost hunting. With him, you see that one with the demon?
And I'm
on
not
top of
saying
the
that these
stairs?
things don't happen; they do. But I've always agreed with Karen. Like
Karen seems much more open-minded and open
since
to
I was a little
everybody's-
kid, I felt like Karen. Like even a bad spirit is looking for a way to purify itself
To
and move
cleanse
on.
itself and move on.
forward, right?
And they can't do that until they find the good in them, no matter where that is or how long it takes or why they were doing what they were doing. And that's what Karen does. So I love her.
Well,
I
see,
just love
sometimes
her.
like if somebody's murdered or something, their spirit gets trapped too.
Oh, anything. I mean, mental illness, possession.
Oh my lord.
Seriously.
It's so freaking unprofessional and freaking
You
annoying
think it would
with
be
the
us two?
freaking phone going off, filming, and more
Well,
so
nobody
in
did hear it. You
freaking
didn't say
church.
anything.
That wasn't us.
Ryan!
Like, I'm getting annoyed.
Let me.
Ryan,
So-
you look innocent in that.
So,
I like it. I like
so
it.
when
I like it. Now you gotta bring light to your house. We'll be good.
so on
Seriously.
Saturday was it Saturday we went to Glastonbury.
Yeah.
So this wasn't the first
Were
time
we
that
going
this
Saturday?
this wasn't the first time this
Yes.
happened.
Oh,
'cause-
Saturday.
yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
I want to get your opinion because this wasn't the first time that this happened to me, and it's normally when like if I'm
Well, you hear T-Mobile
like on
jingles
on
the
edible, it's like when I'm on edibles, right? And I looked into your eyes, and it was something very dark, and that looks back at me. And this isn't
In
the first time it
Ryan?
happens. This is
In
why.
Ryan's
yeah,
eyes?
yeah. It happens usually when I'm high, and
He's hallucinating.
no, I wasn't hallucinating. No, because if it happened once, yeah, but more than once.
I gotta say, I've known Ryan since I was 17.
Mm.
Yep. Because you met me with Tom Dudek and
When I was
My
working
brother,
at IHOP as a waitress.
was IHOP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know. We know.
I can only tell you what.
I was 17. He's totally harmless and good, but does he have dark energy surrounding him?
Well-
Absolutely.
So maybe that's what I'm seeing then. But I
He's
definitely-
not evil in any
No,
way.
I'm not talking. I'm not. It didn't. Wasn't
But
called him
it
evil.
is surrounding him,
well,
and
I'm
it
not-
needs
I
to
didn't-
go because it makes
agree
people
with you.
uncomfortable.
I agree with you.
Right.
100. Right
Let
there.
Ray Dog finish his story. He's trying to
No,
say
no,
something.
go ahead. You're right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
So it's happened more than once. It's like I'm not. I wasn't calling him evil. That's not what I was. I'm just saying. when I
You're
was-
feeling
the-
what I'm feeling, but in a different
Right.
way.
It's probably just probably like
You're
that.
Yes.
surrounded. You have. I think you
He's
have evil
surrounded by it. It's not
'Cause he's
actually
chasing
him,
it.
but he is surrounded by it, and that's what I'm trying to like get. Like as soon as I walked into his house, I could feel it. I could feel it. Like I felt like I was in my old house again. Like I couldn't breathe. Like I needed to get out of here. I was like, Ryan, this house is dark. Like you need some light.
Well,
You need some light.
Yeah, because Chip don't like his house either. Honest, Chip is never
Really?
comfortable there. Never comfortable at all.
Oh,
I'm not. Am I making that up, Joy?
Maybe
Not
that's why
good.
Karma was acting weird the
Not
other day.
good.
Chip does not like his.
Karma,
he
you know what
doesn't
Karma
use-
did to me?
What?
She went right on my ear,
Oh wow!
and she does not do that.
So there's got to be a reason, unless these.
She was
these-
like, "Get me outta here."
These ghost
My
hunting
dog
things
was
that
like,
they're going
"Get me
on,
outta
these-
here."
These
Dogs
things are
always
following
sense
you
things.
home. These things are following you home because I'm telling you, Chip does not like it there. You could see him. He's curls up on me. He does not want to leave.
So
Yeah,
I
but
think
see-
it's a little
but see,
bit of
like,
both.
if
I
the
think
energy
it's a
was
little
on
No,
bit-
I agree with you. Oh,
but
I
look at
agree
the-
with you
I
right
think
there.
it's a little bit of the energy that was in the house from history,
Right.
Yeah.
but I also think it's a mix of energy that came with you, and that was
Like
the
he's been-
Conjuring House.
Right.
The Conjuring House was not only. Remember when they said that? Remember the woman who actually got possessed?
Yeah, remember when Carl Johnson said that when the Warrens went there, the mom had
But
got
they
picked
brought
up.
the energy with them.
Right, but the
It
mother
wasn't just. It was a mix.
got picked up and thrown across the room.
Yes, but it
when
was
she
a
got
mix.
possessed.
It was a mix of the Arnolds, who used to own the house, and got, like, okay, because back then,
Oh
when
my
you were a
Lord.
woman, you weren't allowed to own a business or own a farm or anything like that. You had to be married, and you had to be under a man's name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, she wasn't married, and she was running this farm in this huge, beautiful property, and she was blowing all the men and all the other farmers out of the water with the money
never
she was
mind.
making.
Well, you
You
said
guys-
blowing
you
all
guys
the
stop-
men.
No,
you
no.
can't jump right away, man.
Stop.
No, she was blowing them out of the water because she was
Popular
way
girl.
more successful than everybody.
Yeah.
So the men started to hate her, and then they started to try to tear her down. So that was where all the pent up woman energy and the bad feelings got, like, possessed and what made the Conjuring House.
Mm.
Where is this conjuring house in
Rhode
Connecticut?
Island. So, anyways, years later, back, now we're in the 70s, from the 1800s, the Warrens move in. But the Warrens brought a lot of negative energy, and they had family problems and a lot of bad stuff going on in their families when they bought the Conjuring House.
No, the Warrens were the investigators.
Not the Warrens, the one that got possessed.
The Perrin
sorry.
family. The Perrin family.
Yes, Perrin. You're right.
Yep.
So basically it was a mix of the Arnold's energy that got beat and had a lot of woman-like anger from that time period, and what the parents had brought with them that made absolute chaos, and the woman got literally possessed and thrown and, like, just lifted off of a table and, like,
Tossed across the room.
tossed across the room, and, like, the
Oh, jeez.
legs slashed and, like, all this stuff.
Yep.
I'm getting off track, but that's how I feel your house is. I feel like it's a lot of old energy, and it's stuff that you brought with you that is mixing, and you need
So
to
is that why
you need to
Chip
get
don't
rid of
like it there? Chip
I
don't
agree
like
with
it.
Absolutely, dogs sense things.
Chippy.
Don't you know that when a dog doesn't like a person?
Yeah.
She kept
absolutely.
circling around the door, like, come on, let's go.
You want it Saturday?
Just saying. I mean, it's
I'm a
fine if
Saturday
you don't
per-
want to,
We're
but-
still doing miniature golf. I'm gonna whoop your butt still, right?
Wait, what?
We're gonna go play miniature golf tomorrow if you guys want to come.
Chip,
It's in
stop
Boston,
jumping
though.
up on him.
It's all the way down.
Boston.
Yes.
Why are you guys
It's not
going to
bothering me.
Boston?
No, this
Not
place is
bothering me.
awesome. You gotta
Yeah,
look it up.
but
It's called
it's-
Putt
Wanna go play
Shack.
miniature
What is
golf?
it called?
It's called
Joy.
Putt Shack.
Joy,
Is it indoor?
Don't get up while you're on camera.
Putt Shack.
It's called
I gotta
Putt
put that in
Shack.
I gotta put that in my phone.
Joy,
No, you
I'm,
don't. So I know where it is.
I told you that already. I'm gonna go to the ministry men's breakfast tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Morning. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna figure out what my chore is for the women. They're having a women's
Look,
appreciation
it just
day.
came up. I didn't even
And
put
I'm
anything.
volunteering
It's
to
listening.
do whatever.
It's
work in the
listening
kitchen
to
or
me.
Oh,
whatever.
good for you.
Can we talk about how your phone is listening to you? And
I
that's
mean,
and it's very
we could talk
creepy?
about it.
Creepy.
I mean,
Brian's?
all of
Everybody's
No,
phone.
it's about the Apple
but it-
phone and
yeah,
the
but
Androids
it's
and
not
all
that.
that.
And,
All the
and so
phones.
is my Alexa. She listens to me all the time.
I feel
Sometimes
like
I'll be talking about, I don't know, apples, and she'll give me a notification. She said, I see that there are apples in. Do you want me to put apples in your cart and buy them? No, witch, I don't want that.
So you're cheating on Siri with Alexa?
yeah.
Sometimes I'll call Alexa Siri, and she hates it. She was like,
It's like calling a woman a wrong name.
nothing. Never mind.
I know I do the Abby's room. I go in my daughter's room and I say, oh, what does she have? Siri, do this. And I'm like, oh, it's an Alexa. Oh, Alexa, set the alarm. I
Remember that story you told me about the radio in your house going on by itself?
Yeah,
We should
I'll
talk about
never
that story.
forget it.
What, like a traditional radio or like a smart one?
Okay, so
Joy, listen
do you
to this.
remember the 1980s when you had the little Walkmans?
I had that.
But it
yeah.
wasn't a Walkman. It was like a little stereo that you put batteries in.
Mhm.
Put
A
a
little
long
bit bigger
antenna.
than a Walkman.
Mhm.
A little boombox.
A tiny one. You remember those?
I do.
You remember those. So, it was shortly after my sister. Actually, it was the week of her funeral. After her funeral.
Oh.
My dad was, my parents were always quick to clean things out. So, they were like, do you want this? I don't even know. I wasn't even thinking. I took it. I took it home. It was my oldest sister's little mini radio. Well, the thing did not have batteries in it.
Don't tell me it worked without batteries.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. And I have witnesses. Yep.
Wow. That's
Seriously?
And you know what it said?
What?
I'm not dead!
Oh, man. That must have been your sister.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
It was the creepiest thing. It literally scared us so bad that me, my daughter, my nephew, and the boy across the street that grew up with my daughter ran out of the house. I mean, ran.
Did it
as
say in your
fast
sister?
as
Was
we
it your
could.
sister's voice or just did it?
No, it was a creepy voice just saying, like, through the radio. Like, the radio came on, and it literally said, I'm not dead. Just like that.
Wow.
So you want to tell them the
And-
story about how your sister died?
My sister committed suicide.
Do
So
you
we
think she's
took it
stuck in
as-
between worlds? Realms?
What's
She
she gonna
was
tell you the
lingering.
story?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Did you guys do something to help her?
Well, that's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently she attached to me. I did not know any of this at the time.
Right.
So then in 2019, I also separated from my daughter's father, and I was going through like a lot, just a healing process. I had been through a lot.
Yes.
So I ended up getting drugged by this guy I was hanging out with and a group of his friends.
Like a date rape drug type thing?
Yes.
Roofied?
If that's what you want to call it. I still don't know till this day exactly what it was. I don't know. It felt like a little more than shrooms. So long story short, I ended up going to a healer, and she said it could have been ketamine
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is.
I think that is like a date rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ketamine or-
Yeah.
Ketamine.
You got roofied. I think you did.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like, can I just ask you, do you remember anything about it? Like, when
Okay.
you were going through it, can you remember anything? Because,
My memory started to come back to me a couple weeks later and so on. But for that first 2 weeks, I had no idea what happened to me. I had no idea.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Had
Yeah,
I really
no
that's-
idea
that's
what
That's
happened to
horrible.
me.
fucked up. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. And I just heard
but-
somebody got roofied at the whip and
Oh,
the
God.
Agawam, and I guess this happens like a lot.
Yeah, more than you would think.
Well, I knew this guy for years, and I thought he was a friend.
Well,
That's the worst. That's
That's
even
the
worse.
I
fucking
knew,
worst.
I
Shit,
thought
stop.
he was
Okay.
my friend. I traveled with this guy.
I'm sorry that happened to you. That sucks. That's
I mean,
horrible.
I thought he was a friend.
That's the worst.
And that's majority
like-
of the
there's a
what
special
happens
place
to
in hell for
people
people
is
like
they
that.
always
And not only
think-
did they
say
do
it's
it
a
to me, they
friend.
did it to my daughter.
What the
Unfucking
hell, man?
How old was she?
2019, she was 19, 18.
Oh my
She was
god.
born in 2001. Yeah.
Did any of these people get arrested or anything?
No, because by the time
You
I
can't- how can you
realized
prove
what had
it?
happened to
How
me,
can you prove it?
the drug was out of my system.
Yep. It's so hard to
I
prove.
went to go get tested.
Well, even
and
with
the
your daughter,
drug
did
was out of-
nothing happened. Didn't get arrested for your daughter doing it to her? No.
No, because the same thing happened to both of us. You totally lose your memory.
Yes.
You totally lose your memory. I don't know if you guys have watched Cable Girls.
No, I know there was a cable guy, but I
No,
never
what
heard
is-
of a
what
cable
is
guy.
that?
No. There's Cable Girls.
What is that?
So it's a Spanish flick on Netflix.
Oh, I don't have
Um,
Netflix. That's why.
Okay. Well, there's a part in the series where exactly what happened to that woman happened to me.
Yeah.
You literally lose your memory and you start regaining your memory. It depends. Weeks after, months after.
So is it?
I was like in a cloud for 2 weeks. I had no idea
It's
what
almost
happened.
like It's
Like,
almost
I
like
can't even explain it.
Right.
I can't even explain exactly what I went through. And me and my daughter. at the same time. But the crazy thing is, me and my daughter were the only two people that could connect to each other. Like it's almost like we shared. I know this sounds crazy. It's almost like we shared the same brain.
Mm-hmm.
But our memories didn't start coming back until at least 2 weeks later.
Maybe it was like
And
a
it
kind
was
of like
slow.
a withdrawal of the drug.
Oh, it was.
That's
Oh,
what
it
I'm
was.
thinking,
I
too.
was vibing. I was vibing. That's what made me go to this healer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, oh my God, I'm withdrawing. And the whole time I'm working.
Oh
I'm
my
going to
God.
work every day. I'm getting up every day. I'm trying to have So I was living with Jen Champagne at the time.
Yeah.
Because I had separated from my daughter's father. It's a long story. Anyways, I wasn't living in my house. My daughter was living in my house. I was living with Jen
Mm-hmm.
and her family. And she knew there was something wrong too. She's like, Vicky, you're like spacing out. She's like, what's wrong with you? She's like, I'm talking to you and you're not answering me. And she's like, you're scaring me.
You just didn't seem the same.
I didn't even know she was fucking talking to me. I was literally like I knew what was, I can't even explain it. Like I knew what was going on. I knew I had to get up and go to work every day and I did my job fine.
Right.
But my brain was like empty. It was empty.
Mm-hmm.
And I was vibing. I was literally like, I don't even know how I worked. I was literally like,
Yeah. It was,
When did you find out
like
your
I was-
sister was like
I
attached to you?
was
Though?
vibing.
I thought she said her daughter, not sister.
No.
Oh, her
so,
sister was.
yes. So that's how I found out my sister was attached to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening was I wanted to stop vibing. I was like, there's something wrong with me. Like, so then I started talking. Like, I started finally starting to have memories come back, and I started talking to a couple of the girls at work, and which practice Wicca,
Oh,
which
boy.
no. I mean, I okay.
I stay
I didn't
away.
say anything.
I
No,
stay away
you
I
from
didn't
can't-
say anything.
You can't.
I didn't say
see,
anything.
Wicca is misconstrued.
But I didn't
Different
say anything.
subject.
I didn't say anything though.
Different subject. I'm into Wicca too, but not. I don't like to categorize myself. But I know a lot about Wicca, which I started to look into when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, kind of up and down with stuff and in between. So, anyways, my memory started to come back to me slowly, and I started talking to two women at work that, like I said, practiced Wicca,
Mhm.
and they helped me. Honestly, they were my lifeline.
Mhm.
I don't think I'd be here without them.
All right.
So they kind of helped me through it. They kind of told me, like, we've seen this before. We know what happened to you. So then one of them recommended me to go to a healer. They're like, she can help you.
Yeah.
So I went to the healer, and I was like, you know what? At this point, I was so desperate. I knew
Mhm.
something was seriously wrong. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to go to. I did go to my primary care. I told him I was drugged. I told him exactly what happened, like, because I wanted it on record in case something happened to me.
Exactly. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah.
Right. So I did everything I needed to do.
Mhm.
So then she sets me up with this woman. Her name's Brenda Edwards, but her business, it goes by Brenda Quantum. So she was able to know that I was drugged and that I was having withdrawals, and that's why I was vibing,
Mm-hmm.
and that she wasn't positive, but she was pretty certain it was ketamine. And then she also said, I swear to God, I didn't tell her anything. She says, I feel a presence with you. She says, did someone close to you pass away, like, around this year? It was my sister.
Right.
So, like, she says, your sister has attached to you.
Mm-hmm.
She said, and that's part of the reason why this happened to you, because your sister needs to move on. And you wouldn't have known that unless this happened to you.
Right.
So it's kind of like that saying, everything happens for a reason.
It sure does. I believe
Right.
that.
Right. I'm like, great. Good. Lucky me.
Yeah, I believe that too.
So she ended up, my sister was in the darkness because she had committed suicide.
Yep,
And
she
I
needed
could
to head to that
literally
light.
hear my sister saying that she was scared to pass on.
Yep.
I could literally hear her saying that.
That's so sad.
So, like, she had
How did
me-
she do it? Like, did she like?
Oh,
No,
Pills.
don't get graphic.
Isn't this like therapy?
Sitting
I
around
told you, I
bullshitting.
always wanted to do like a therapy broad or podcast that was like free.
Yeah, this is basically like
I,
therapy.
I literally give therapy to my clients all day.
If you want to
every
join
day.
our podcast, we could just change it to 5 dill weeds and then do
You
7.
know how much work I put into making the website and all this stuff, and don't get me started on this.
Wait. It'll be easy. What is it? 3 dill
You
weeds,
just
a
gotta
blue
change the
flag,
3
Yeah.
dill weeds and a blue flag.
Just change the 5.
3 dill weeds, okay, 5 dill weeds and a blue flag.
Yeah.
Listen, I have. Okay, on one condition, you're gonna do the new website. You're gonna set up the new email. You're gonna set up the new YouTube, the new Rumble, the new.
All right, you got it. We could just be like sit-ins.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
that's-
our
that's
guest.
better.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, start
Yes.
filming on
Frequent
Saturdays,
guest.
then they
There you
get
go.
You're
it.
our frequent guest. That's
There
all.
you go. That works.
All right, so let's
So
get
whenever you
back.
want to come vibe, you can come vibe with us.
All right,
There
let's-
you go.
Let's get back to
Okay,
this story.
we have to officially get back into it because I have to edit it, and it doesn't sound good. Like, and we're back. 3 dill weeds and a blue flag with our guests
Casey and Vicky.
Casey and Vicky,
And
Yeah.
JoJo.
and
I
of
know.
course.
I was thinking that too, like Casey, JoJo, and Vicky.
And I'm missing one of our mascots, but I'm not sort of.
Karma?
I do miss her because I like her a
Aw.
lot.
Karma's a little pain in the ass, but she's so cute.
Just
I
like your
do.
mom.
I love her. I love her. She is.
Like
So
mother, like
let's
daughter.
get back into your story. You were telling
Yeah.
a very serious story.
I was. Yeah, my sister. So, I haven't said this out loud to many people. So, you asked me how she did it.
Yes.
If you could, I mean, try not to be too graphic.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. So, she was considered mentally ill, which I think sometimes she was either possessed or something attached to her,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't understand how she went from all her life being okay to whatever it is she was going through.
Mm.
I mean, she did have trauma, and she married someone who was evil.
That could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what they said. They said that the trauma in her life could have been what brought her illness on.
Yep.
But she basically wrapped her head in saran wrap.
Oh, so she suffocated.
That's right.
Wow.
That's
And
horrible.
then
That sucks.
she was not done suffocating, and she tried to get the saran wrap off,
Oh,
and she couldn't find where the saran wrap ended. So
She probably panicked.
she panicked,
right.
and her eyes were closed, and she was looking. So she was in her she was seeing this guy, and he had just moved to Saugus, Mass, near Boston, and he hadn't even been done unpacking yet, and that's where she got the saran wrap, was from like the bed, I don't know, the mattress or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like fumbling around the counters in the kitchen trying to find a knife to cut her mouth open so she could breathe.
Right.
She couldn't find anything,
But it
so
was
she
too late.
suffocated.
Yep.
How do I know that? Because I felt it.
Mm.
I was gonna say, did she kind of tell you? Or,
I felt it.
damn.
Like I
That's how
died
you close.
with her,
That's how close
Oh,
you
she
guys
attached to
were.
her.
because she was attached to me.
Yep.
I felt every single movement. I felt all of it. I felt her, like I almost thought I was dead. Like I woke up going because I felt all of it.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I believe it. I believe she was trying to show you, like, this is what happened.
She did. I even woke up saying, I'm wearing, and I was describing what she was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked down, I was like, that's not what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a purple shirt.
What a story. That's
It is
crazy. I
windy.
can't freaking believe that. But
Yeah.
wow, that's a
Yeah.
damn.
So
No.
what do you think of sleepwalkers? Well, let me put it this way in my own
Ones that
case.
eat peanut butter and jelly in the middle of the night.
Well, no, not that.
Does he sleepwalk to the peanut butter?
Are
and jelly?
you kidding
Well,
me?
no, this kind of sleepwalking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a.
That's
So basically, my mom, she caught me. I was sleepwalking. I went to the kitchen. I turned on the gas stove and I was trying to find matches to light the house up. That type of sleepwalking. What do you think that was?
Were you a pyro?
No, I don't think so. So I mean,
you looking for milk and cookies?
I used to do things like that all the time when I was younger. I would.
I was a sleepwalk, but I would like walk out of the house or try walking to my grandmother's or walk. I'm known for making food in the middle of the night, not eating it,
Right.
eating some of it,
Yeah.
and I don't remember any of it. So
Yeah.
I'm a sleepwalker.
He
but-
is.
Well, I don't remember
He still
doing
does
it, but I
it.
remember waking up with my face hurting and my mom slapped me. Pow!
That's
See,
funny.
all
Just
you
have
ever
to
was
wake.
tell me go back to bed, and I'll just go back to bed. But
No, you'd be like, I'm not going to bed. You go to bed.
Okay, so what we were gonna get back to.
Or
I tell him to go to bed all the time.
what about
You go to bed.
blackouts? So what do you think of blackouts?
No, can we get back to
Depends.
what happened? How did you? We were gonna get on the topic of how you got her separated from you.
Okay, so when I got drugged and I went through those weeks and I started to get my memory back and I was literally vibing and I
Yes.
was at work and I was talking to my coworkers and
And you met
a
those two
couple of
women.
them practice Wicca
Yes.
and they were like, you know, it doesn't hurt. Why don't you go try a healer? Have you ever tried a healer? Now, I come from a long line of ancestors that practice all this, but
Right.
my mom was so scared of it
Yep.
that she shunned it and she tried to put a blind eye to it and she became a Jehovah's Witness
Yep.
and was like that's all like crazy talk and you know that doesn't exist and da da da. She didn't want to believe in it. She was afraid of it.
Yes.
So when I started to talk to these women, like they kind of verified everything that I kind of felt and knew my whole life that my mom was afraid of. So one of them knew this Brenda Edwards Quantum, and she said, you know, it doesn't hurt. Like just go see her, see if she can help you.
Define.
At that point, I was so desperate.
Right.
I said I will do anything. So I went to her,
What's
and right away, she felt my sister. And she knew that I was telling the truth and that I had been drugged and that my memory was not, you know, was coming back to me slowly. And she was able to tell me things that I started to remember without me telling. So I knew she was the real deal.
So like a
Right.
psychic is what it sounds like to me. Is that what it is?
Similar.
Oh, I had a feeling. I just knew.
Oh yeah, similar. So this woman, she's great. She does everything. She is somewhat of a psychic. She's a healer.
But when you say a healer,
Where-
could you elaborate more on that? Because I don't know what if you pretend like I don't
So
know.
a
But I
healer
don't
is
know
a
what it
little bit different than a doctor per se.
Right,
A
but-
doctor is here to help you heal with prescription.
Mhm.
She's like a
Like a
psychic
spiritual-
healer, a spiritual healer. There
Yeah.
you go. She's a spiritual healer.
Where is she from?
She lives in what is that considered? She's near Bruno's Pizza, as a matter of fact.
Oh, she's
The
nearby.
Fresh Acres over by
Parker,
16 acres.
Parker Allen, 16 acres.
Yeah,
Yes,
16
Yeah.
acres.
yes,
All right.
yes. She's
See,
awesome. My daughter
I
goes
don't-
to her
I
too.
couldn't go see a healer because as healers and psychic it's not something that I would be okay with.
Why not?
It's just
He
to me,
thinks it's demonic.
it's demonic in my opinion.
See, that's what my mother always thought.
I agree
I
with
swear
her.
to God, this guy is like Jehovah's Witness.
I
like,
don't believe.
I don't understand.
You
Yeah.
can't.
My mother
Yeah,
thought that
demonic.
too. I am telling you, she is the most kind-hearted, like bright, light person
Yeah.
that
Right, but-
you've ever met in your life. She brought so much light to me. Like I felt it. Like this sounds insane. Like I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud because people would not
I get
understand
you.
unless they've ever been through my experience. My mother always thought that too. That's all demonic. It's not.
See, that's basically
it
another
is
way.
not.
I think
Basically-
I think you're thinking
Basically,
of
what
something
she
else.
did is the
Well,
same thing as deliverance and
no.
exorcism.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Something's
no,
attached to you, and
no.
you're having to move
Yeah.
on.
No.
It's the same
Right.
thing.
She's helping her. She's
Right.
not
She
hurting
helped
her.
me.
Yeah, but
I was
any-
okay after that.
if someone
It
can
took me one time of going to her, and I was okay.
if someone can tell
I
the
believe you.
future
One
like
time.
that,
I do.
it's
I do.
not.
I-
It's
No, but it wasn't her really telling me the future.
Right.
It was
She
her
was telling
telling
her
me the
what
past.
happened to her.
It was her right. It was her telling me what I had already gone through. It was her explaining to me what I was feeling. And it was her telling me that my sister was attached to me without me even telling her about my sister and telling her that my sister committed suicide. But she said, did you have, she was the one asking me questions.
Mhm.
Like, did you have someone commit suicide? Like, specific questions.
Right.
So then I would say yes. And so it wasn't that I fed her information. Like, she already kind of knew, but she was trying to get it out of me to help me. So then she said, she specifically said, well, she is attached to you because she's trying to live off of you and stay in this realm, but she needs to move on. She needs to move on to the light and go to her next realm, wherever she may be replaced or whatever you believe in.
I'm hardline on that. I'll never. You might as well be talking to the wind. I'm hardline on that.
That's a personal opinion, though.
Well,
Yes.
That's a personal opinion.
I agree.
I'm not saying
It's a personal opinion.
I'm not saying it's not personal. I'm just saying
But it
I'm
is.
hardline
It's your
on that.
personal opinion.
I'm hard. Just like you
But-
have your
but what
personal
I will say-
opinions as well.
That whole bright light that I was talking about, where you circumference yourself and you're protected, and she had me envision that. And then she did not necessarily Reiki, but she did a combination of like, I mean, I guess you would call it Reiki, but it was also like incense.
What do you mean
and
Reiki?
like,
What's Reiki?
see.
Well, I ask a question if I don't
You
know.
gotta stop having such strong opinions when you don't know a lot about a lot.
Well, it's just
Exactly.
everyone have their personalities. I have a strong. I've always been outspoken.
I used to be like you.
I'm an outspoken type person. That's just how I am. It's
No,
just
no,
how
no.
I am.
But you can't be so close-minded.
Well,
Yes,
no, I'm
right.
not-
He's
I-
closed-minded.
If you think I'm closed-minded, talk to my family, because my family we're strongly like I was telling you in
Stubborn?
Yeah, you may be strong.
I'm not talking about
Strong-
stubborn.
minded,
it's
but
two
you could
different
be-
things. But you're closed-minded. You're strong-minded,
Well,
but you're closed-minded.
Right, no, but I was talking about as far as we were raised old school
Like
Christian.
my way or the highway.
Old
Yeah.
school. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We're old school
That's not always
Christians.
the right way.
Well, I'm not saying it's the right way, but that's just it's like it's so ingrained in me. It's almost
Listen, the Jehovah Witness is ingrained in me too.
Right, but
but
I
you
mean-
have to. You can add what you already know to things you learn now,
I mean, like
because that's
People
what I
learn
have
every
done.
day.
And
these
let me
things.
tell
I'm
you,
gonna
I am
ask
so
my
much
pastor
happier.
about these things and see what
So
my
much
pastor
happier.
says. I will talk to my pastor and ask him his opinion as well, because I want to get the perspective from a pastor who.
Okay, do you believe in intuition?
Yeah, I believe in some intuition things. Yeah.
Okay, so you can't, like, if your pastor is telling you something, and I'm not saying that I'm not
Well,
trying
we don't
to
even
down
know.
him or
We
say,
don't even know what he's gonna say. I didn't even ask him.
She's
yet.
giving me an example.
She's just
no,
saying
I'm giving you an
hypothetical.
example. I'm not saying he's bad or whatever or blah, 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 but you don't know how much growth your pastor has done. So let's say you go talk to your pastor and your pastor tells you something, but you're still feeling like something's missing, something's empty, there's a void. You need to listen to your gut.
Well, I understand. I agree with that. I mean,
Because your pastor could be taking you half of the way, but your intuition is going to take you all the way.
I kind of listen to what God tells me to do. Is how I.
That's your intuition.
That's right.
But I'm gonna say my pastor, like, last week was the first time that I met
But
him
you
because-
can't be like,
Well, no,
okay,
but
my pastor said this,
No,
and
I
that's
was-
it.
No, I was gonna tell a story. I was gonna tell an experience.
All right, no, go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say. So when I met him for the first time, it was like I felt the Holy Spirit. That's how I knew I was at the right church, because I felt a Holy Spirit from this pastor. Is what I was gonna say.
Okay, so you like him, which is good.
Yeah, well,
Connected with them.
right.
Right.
And I
Right.
don't. When you feel the Holy Spirit, that's deep.
True. Sure.
So
No,
that's
you're
how I
right.
know. That's how I know that this was the right church for me.
Okay.
Sure.
Or just like she says, he could take you part of the way. What you think is going to happen with his deliverance if he brings you part of the way?
That's right.
But he doesn't get the attachment.
What
out.
if,
If
you're
you
still
still
having
feel
the,
like
if you're
something's
still,
missing.
Yeah, if you still have the problem. What if you after
Well,
you
well-
go through everything with him, you're still going through the
Because he didn't
same
solve the
thing?
problem.
Right, but sometimes too, this has happened before, and because I watched a lot of these things before on deliverance. Sometimes they can deliver you, but sometimes they come back. It's just sometimes it happens. So not because you're delivered, it mean that they're gone forever. Sometimes they
If you're-
will
if you're
come
gonna-
back.
But would you try something else?
Well, not.
Or
not,
would you just go to him again?
No, I wouldn't. I would try something else, but along the Christian line. I wouldn't go to a psychic, for instance. I wouldn't try a psychic or a medium type person. I wouldn't.
But
I
see,
would-
like it's a Catholic church that actually gets that out of you. It's Catholic-
exorcism and deliverance.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, different name.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I'm not expecting that I'm delivered and then everything is good, they'll never come back. It's going to always be a struggle. It's going to always be a struggle.
So if it gets removed, say the spirits get removed from the dark energy, and then tomorrow you masturbate.
Well,
So then you just reopen the door.
well, no, I wouldn't. That's
You did
that's,
reopen
that,
the door. Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
No, no,
Because
that's
you
not-
didn't
that-
shut the door.
See, you didn't even. That's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying no. I wouldn't do that. Is what I'm saying.
But what if you did?
What if you did?
I mean, well, then I know right from wrong because I know that is
We
wrong.
all know right from
I know.
wrong. We all sin.
Right, but you not let me elaborate on what I'm trying to say. You just keep cutting me off. So I know that what I'm saying is we all know right from wrong, and I know that if I'm delivered, because if I'm delivered, I know that I'm not supposed to do profanity, all these other masturbation, and all these other worldly things. That's one of the subjects I talked about. In fact, on my ministry that I did, I talked about living in the world and not doing worldly things. That was my first
All right.
subject I talked about.
Can we just go back and make sure that we're not judging each other?
But I'm not judging anyone.
Okay, but keep an open mind. Whenever we're talking about something, keep an open mind and don't judge.
But
Everybody
okay,
has their own opinions.
Right, but give me an example of how I was judging.
I'm just saying we're not going to be. This is what we're not doing.
Well, just say if like somebody says, "Well, I went to a psychic. Well, I wouldn't go to a psychic."
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I
but
mean?
I'm not judging them. That's my
Okay,
opinion.
but you
though.
guys you're calling her, my Brenda, a psychic.
No, no,
That
is
I,
not
no,
what
no, no,
she
no.
goes
I said
by.
she. I said
She's
I said,
a healer.
Right, but I said it sounds like a psychic. I didn't say she was a psychic. I said that when you were saying some of the things about, I said it almost seemed like a psychic. I didn't say she was a psychic. I said
Alright.
it almost seemed like she
Yeah,
was.
I think
But
he's
you were
actually
also
been
saying
very open-minded. I think he's been sitting there listening. He's been
Thank you.
very open-minded to everything.
But I still feel like he's
Because like when you say it, like a healer's demonic.
I think he's trying to
You know what I
relate what he knows.
no,
to the situation.
But that's what I'm saying. I still feel like he's not. He needs to grow a little more.
When you say grow, you mean accept other things that like outside my belief line,
Yes.
for lack of a better word.
That's yes,
See,
exactly.
okay, I know
you
what
need
you-
to accept things
To be
out
more
of your
open-minded.
I know
belief
what
that
you're-
are okay.
Okay, but see, how can I put? Let's say for instance I'm inside this bubble, I can see everything going on outside the bubble, and it doesn't mean that I'm closed-minded to it. I see it, and I could appreciate what you do, but it doesn't mean that I want to come outside of my bubble, for lack of a better word. It doesn't mean that I'm closed-minded to it. I know what's going on outside the bubble, but I want to stay in this bubble
But you're
where I
comfortable
am.
where you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
But here's the
And which
question.
is
Okay,
normal.
that
But
makes
here's the
sense.
question, though, right? So you wouldn't go to a healer or a psychic, whatever, because you say it's demonic, whatever. But if somebody goes there and says that they were helped and it solved their problem,
Do you know
And
what
an
it took for
attachment-
me to go to
and
her?
attachment moved
I
on,
still wanna know-
Every
Can you
day
still
of
s-
my life, my mother drilled into my head that all that stuff was evil and demonic, and it's gonna bring you down, and it's gonna kill you, and it's gonna
You're
feed
gonna
at you
burn in
slowly, and yeah, but basically, like
Well, I
I
didn't-
had to go against everything I was taught every day of my life as a child to be able to save myself.
Right.
And guess what? it saved me.
Can you? Yeah.
Can you,
can-
and I
Right,
would like
but what
to
I'm-
know how that happened.
Right, but I'm saying, you know, I understand. Like I'm not being closed-minded. Like I'm just staying within this bubble.
Yeah,
here.
but can you look at somebody like that and say, "I'm happy that it solved your issue"?
Well,
and,
I mean, of
and your
course,
problem, you know what
It
I mean?
Of course, I'm
actually
gonna be
helped
happy
me.
for
It
someone
worked
that
one time.
I'm gonna be
One
happy
time.
for someone that finds help. I'm not shunning it, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna stay in this bubble here, and I'm not being closed-minded to what's outside the bubble. I'm not
All right.
blinded to what's going on
Do you
around
look
me.
into astrology?
No, that I wouldn't look into that either. No, I won't. I just won't. I mean, you asked me. I could only be honest. I'm not gonna tell you.
No,
yes,
no,
you know.
okay.
That's your belief. No?
Yeah, I mean, if you,
It's too
I
bad.
don't like to lie, and so I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion.
I don't
No, but
lie
it- no, but it's
either.
a-
Lying is my pet peeve.
But it's
I'd
okay.
rather know
It's
the
okay
truth
though
as bad
because
as it is.
you can stay.
Lying is my.
You can stay in your bubble.
Absolutely.
because
Mine
you know,
too.
if I was,
Okay.
let me,
But
let me-
Scorpios don't
if I
like
was
to be lied to,
closed-minded,
right?
if I was
No.
closed-minded, I
We
would
hate
not
it.
associate
No.
with people that's outside of my realm. That's to me, that's closed-minded.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
If you're close-minded, it's not. You shouldn't be doing a podcast.
Ex-
You
ex-
should be having an open mind. And listen to what everyone has to say.
Exactly. So if you, I'm not. I could
But
appreciate
do you
what's-
feel like sometimes that you're like, okay, this is the way it is. This is my bubble. I'm not gonna go.
But that's not his.
Go-
That's not his view. He's
No,
willing to look
no,
outside of that.
no. Is he though?
Yeah, he just told you that.
Is
I mean,
he says it, but is he?
okay, but
But
look,
he's willing to look.
I-
He's
I
saying,
will-
I may
I mean,
not
you-
believe. I may not believe what you're saying, but I'm willing to look.
exactly like a few times. I'm
I don't feel
I'm
like you
for
are,
instance,
though.
okay, for instance.
But
with-
she hasn't even been.
Okay, let me
told
just-
us how she got rid of the spirit.
But-
Yeah,
right, but let me
because
give
we
an
keep going back to you.
I want to give an example. You saying I don't like what do you call these ghost hunting thing, but I still went at least with one or two of them with you just to experience with you. So
Well, you were doing
If
your
I-
thing. You were recording your video.
How did
and
you
that was
feel?
when-
well, there was one part that we went to. It was one building was like a lot of demonic things.
You
in
felt
that.
bad things.
I did not like that specific. The
Yeah.
other places I didn't feel any demonic, but that specific building where they had
Yeah.
satanic things in there, I instantly was put off. I didn't. I could feel the evil presence
Yeah.
in that particular building,
Yeah.
and so I just don't want that type of things to follow me home.
But
That's
I don't
why-
feel as though she was getting like a negative vibe from this woman. She wasn't
No, no,
feeling
but I'm-
anything evil from her.
Right,
She
Not at
wasn't
all.
feeling anything
Not at
like
all. She was
demonic.
like-
she was
She was like the sun to my day.
Right. No, I'm understanding. I'm not saying that she didn't
I
help you.
don't
and-
think
and
I would have
and I
made
appreciate-
it
I
out
And we
okay
understand.
without
I
this
think
woman.
I think we understand that he doesn't want to do that, right? We understand that.
Well, no, I'm
Yes,
just trying
exactly,
to. I'm listening.
exactly.
I'm listening.
Okay,
I'm listening.
the thing is, we all have different experiences.
Right.
And he's never been where I've been.
Exactly.
I've never been where he's been.
Right.
Whatever he's doing obviously works for him, and what I have done has worked for me because I'm
Right.
still here.
But I hear him saying. This is what I hear him saying. I've been programmed this way. He's saying I've been programmed this way. It's
Okay.
hard for me. But he's saying, but I'm willing to listen.
Right.
I
Oh
hear
no,
that
no,
from-
he's listening,
Right, but you
but
gotta see
that's
he-
where I came in with the astrology.
Right, but that's hard for him.
There's
He's been-
8 years of Uranus causing chaos where all signs, all peoples, all walks of life have to question their true values and their what they've been instilled as kids and all of that. You question all of that. I have already been there. Have you? You're still following it, so you haven't. Is my opinion. I'm not saying there's anything wrong or right. Some people will be like, yes, what I've been instilled in as a child is still correct for me, and that's okay.
Well, I
But
mean,
there's a lot of us that are gonna say there's much more to this.
They're gonna grow and they're gonna change.
right, but you see again.
And
so-
everything that I learned as a child,
Okay, so I'm gonna.
there's so much more to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're
so
talking.
much
We're
more.
dealing with generational curses and
Everything.
yeah,
Okay, so you're
traumas.
Culture,
Sus-
trauma. what else do I want to say? Religion. All of it.
Right, but
Everything you've been instilled in as a child is not necessarily the right way.
okay, but so you're saying that I didn't grow from a child. If I was the same type of person, I would be an angry person who would be someone who would want to hit women, to to beat up women.
Okay, wait. I just met you today.
Hmm.
So
So you probably don't know the backstory then.
No, of course
Okay, so
I
I'm
don't.
just gonna give a clip version. How I grew up from the time I was 5 years old. I had
Yup.
a father who was a woman beater. He would. I was always the one that would protect my mom. He didn't touch my sister, but I was always protecting my mom.
Right.
And I would get beat up too, as well.
Protecting
and
your mom.
On top for protecting my mom. On top
Right.
of that, I got assaulted by a family member for years, over and over and over. An uncle used to watch this happen and didn't do anything. He himself used to inflict pain on me, and all I knew for the longest time was anger and violence, and that's
Of
all I
course.
went through. And so sitting here today, I did have learned because I am not that angry
No,
person that I was.
I don't get that from you at
So,
all.
I did learn.
You did.
One
You
of the
grew a
only
lot.
things, one of the things that hasn't changed was on the religion side. Yes, I still believe have that hardcore thing, but everything else, the things that I've been through, I should be I should not be
No, you're right.
in a good place right now, and I am.
You are.
And for me, it's God who did it for me. So that's the way.
No,
that
you're right.
I'm gonna go.
I get that from you. Yes, absolutely. You're right. You're right. You're just kind of stuck on the religion thing that certain things are demonic and certain things aren't.
Right. My mom.
But you have grown a lot from what
yeah,
I hear.
believe it took a lot because I didn't. I've never been good at relationships because of that. I
Right.
don't trust people,
Right.
and it's very hard for me to open up and trust. It's just because I've just been through too.
No, absolutely.
too
I don't blame
much.
you.
Sure.
So, for so that's just I have this one thing, that positive thing I can hold on to, and it helps me through a lot of things.
But how about you hold on to that, but you add to it, is what I'm saying.
Right, but certain things can't mix is what I'm.
No,
I can't
but they
mix.
can. Who tells you they can't mix?
Just in my little bubble in my head, certain
But
things.
you need to modify it for yourself.
No,
Right.
that's true.
You need to modify
I
it for your
know.
personal
I mean, if
growth.
that's what works for you, then yes. But I'm sitting here telling you
Well, I
what worked for me.
Right,
So
and I'm really happy that I work for you because what you went through was horrible. That those people
Well,
should
you
burn
too.
in hell. You know,
Yeah,
they should
true.
burn in hell.
you too.
But
We
but
all
both
have
of you,
our thing.
All we can be is open-minded, listen to each other's story, and grow from that, and try and learn how you apply that to your own life.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, because
Like-
everybody has
like-
their own story.
If, for instance, like, do I need to forgive him so I could be spiritually strong? Do I need to actually contact him and forgive him, or
I think that's your personal decision. How are you going to move forward?
right?
That's your personal
Okay,
decision.
so
Yeah.
why did he do that? Was he an alcoholic? Was he on drugs? Was he?
No,
do you
this
think he
happened-
was
this
pure
happened-
evil?
This happened when we were. He was just a little bit older than me, and he just this is, and the thing is right. He's when my mom said he's married with a kid. He's church going person, so he was able to move on with a normal life, what I would call normal life, where I'm just stuck in this not knowing who I am because of this thing that happened to me forever. It seemed like an eternity.
Wait, what do you mean? Your father?
Oh, you're talking about? I thought you were talking about the family member who violated me.
Oh no.
so-
I don't know. I'm sorry. There was a couple things going on.
Okay,
What
about
are,
my
what are
father?
you talk? What was the
We're
the
assuming
big
right now.
what was the biggest trauma for you? Your father or the person who violated you?
Violated me because it was for years he did that. Years.
Okay, so the person who violated you was a family member?
Yes.
Okay, so you were just saying so explain to me again. Like what did your mom so your mom knows about this?
No, she does not. No.
She does not.
No, I didn't. No one knew about it except the uncle who used to watch it happen and didn't do anything about
Why did he watch it happen and not
it.
do
I
anything?
don't know. I don't know.
So he's just as bad.
Well, yeah, he is. He is. He is just as bad. He's just as bad.
So how have you coped with it? Have you withdrawn yourself from?
I kind of just push people away, for a lack of better word. And
So
just,
is that why you're single? I assume.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
have no kids. You have no
No,
wife.
No.
You never have.
No. I tried to, but she was a liar, and she told my mom and myself. I thought that I was gonna have twins.
So-
And go ahead.
No, it fit into the negative. It all fit into
Uh huh.
the negative response.
Right.
You haven't had a positive relationship in your life.
No, and
with
I
a
don't think
female?
I don't think I ever. It's
No, no,
almost,
no.
It's almost like I don't think I could. Every time I try, it
That's
just,
not true.
Well, no, I'm just saying how I feel. I could be not. I know it's not.
No, listen. We both know what you're doing right now because we've done it. Subconsciously, you don't even know you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We talked about that in the first show. I believe.
Yeah, we
wasn't
did.
it? We did. We talked about that.
Yep.
And
What's happening is you're attracting or you're attracted to
What you're used
your normal.
Right.
Yeah,
Which normal is
it's
just
screwed
means
up.
what
It's
you're
screwed
used
up.
to.
My
It's not-
normal is screwed up. My
Normal
my normal
doesn't-
is screwed up.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
we definitely touched on that subject.
so you
Absolutely.
I've been in therapy for 10 years, and it's taken me
I gotta
10
pee
years
again.
to get in. I was married for 18 years, a terrible marriage, and it's taken me that marriage and another 8 years in therapy to get to a positive relationship. And that's just my story, but it can be done, but
But I kind of feel like I'm in my, like I feel like I'm fine by myself. Like I don't even want to try, for lack of better word.
because it's so easy. Why would you want to try?
Right.
Because you have no positive.
You're right.
You see no positive result of any relationship with a woman. How could you?
Exactly.
Because you never been healed from what you went through.
He's
that's
never
why.
seen it. He's never witnessed it. It's
No.
not a realistic thing to him.
Exactly.
Right.
And I get it.
And that's why he will consistently attract the same type of.
Negative relationships.
And even
because that's all you know.
yeah,
that's all you're welcome.
yeah.
You're gonna welcome.
Right.
Yep.
And I wish that's I want to break this cycle, and I'm hoping, when
You
I
need
hope,
to, my I only know my story, and I'm.
How did you do it besides therapy?
I had a therapist. I was in a marriage for 5 years. I went to a therapist who said, "Don't leave your wife. You can't leave your wife." I was the only parent. I was raising 2 kids on my own. I had a wife that was totally isolated, and I had a therapist that was telling me, "Don't leave your wife because in Massachusetts the man will never get custody of his kids."
Yeah.
So I was like, I had just went through the motions for 5. Finally, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I went to a therapist. He's like, leave your wife today. Today. Throw your mother's ashes in the garbage and leave your wife yesterday. And it changed my life. And I listened to this guy, and he walked me through. I got custody of my kids. It was a long road.
Right.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But I got custody of both my kids, which my ex-wife was the breadwinner. I was told I couldn't do it. There's no way I had a fighting chance between the legal system and the financial responsibilities of each partner. And this guy walked me through it, and I got both my kids before I met Vicky. Then I met Vicky, and I've been in the best relationship I've ever been in. And it's all because of a therapist that
Right.
told me what is possible, that I never thought was even in the cards for me.
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, I was right where you are.
I don't even think I want to.
I felt this. As
I
Vicky,
want
before
to.
I met her, I didn't want. I'm like, I don't want to relate. I
He
was the
didn't.
slowest moving person
He did.
ever. She slept in
He
my
was-
bed for months, and I didn't even touch her. And that sounds
It's
ridiculous.
no, it's okay because that's what I needed to.
Because you
Right,
don't
right.
know where I've been, and you don't know what I've been through.
Me too.
Yeah.
But and
Yeah.
she makes fun of me all the time, but
No.
you don't know what I've been through.
No,
like
I don't.
it was so important to me. Like
Chip, stop.
I was so looking for something that I wasn't willing to even kiss her or move forward until I knew 100% positive what I was getting. I had a little girl. My daughter was 8. My son had just moved out. I was so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
my son who I just raised on my own had moved out. He had a child. Like I was
Broken.
so
Yes.
broken when I thought I was just getting myself together.
Right.
So I thought I was like, oh, I done it, and then whatever my son went through, and he moved out, and I was like, oh my God, I can't go through this again. And I had a couple minor relationships that when you're going through that, they seem so major and they seem like so life altering. But it was such a journey to lead me to where I was finally supposed to go. Like little things like my daughter. When you have a 8-year-old girl, and I'm very hands on. I live for my kids.
Yep.
Like people say that, but my kids are everything. And it was so hard to welcome Vicky into that and know what she was in store for, and it's still a process.
How
We
long
go
have you
through
guys been together?
daily?
2.5 years.
Nice.
But yes, it's still a process.
But I can tell you, she'll
Absolutely.
tell you, we slept in the same bed for months, and I didn't even touch her.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't.
Right. Until you
I
were ready.
couldn't.
Yep.
Because until you've been down through what I've
It's
been
both.
through.
It wasn't just him though. It was me too.
Yeah.
Like we met.
And my daughter and her were the ones, I was so, I just stood back, I wasn't looking for it. Like he says, what did you just say? I don't want it.
No,
I'm not ready for it. I'm not. I
You
don't
know what
want
though?
it. Because I've been
That's
so
when
broken,
it happens.
and I've been so heartbroken.
Because
Like,
neither one
I'm
of us
I
were
just
looking.
can't do this anymore. Like I just gotta focus on my daughter.
Yep.
I just can't do it anymore. Like I don't have the energy.
Yeah, and I
Like
yeah,
I
you're right.
try. I'm a good. Like Vicky knows me. I'm deep down. I'm a
He's too
I'm a
good.
good guy.
He's too
And
good.
people had just walked all
They
over
do.
me. Like,
People
yeah.
walk over him.
I
He's
Yeah,
just-
said that myself.
and I'm
I just
I'm
had this conversation.
He's
I've been
way too
used
good.
and
And
I'm
abused
just
my
not
whole
doing
life,
it
pretty
anymore.
much.
Like I'm just
Yeah.
not doing it anymore. Like I put all my energy into my daughter to a fault.
Yeah.
To a fault. Like way unhealthy for both of us.
Yeah.
In
It
my
was,
son.
but he's gotten better.
But that's all I knew. Like I just clung to
Yes.
that. Like I just had to,
You're right.
and I still do it to my.
But he did make changes because he cared about me.
Yeah.
And I continue. It's not easy for me, and
So
try.
I bring things to his attention, and he works on it right away, like immediately. He listens to
That's
me.
like the best thing that you could ask
no,
for.
no. Honestly, yes.
But when I hear him say that, it doesn't have to be that way.
No,
Yeah.
right.
But I mean,
is
that's
what
why
he's
I'm
explaining.
I'm
right.
crying right now because it doesn't have to be that way. I see
No, it
the other
doesn't.
side, but it's not easy. Like
And yes, you have much more light
And
in
you
your
have no
house than
kids.
Ryan does. So you're
like I could see my daughter
Seriously.
as being a strength and a.
sorry, Ryan. We'll work on you.
Yeah, we.
I can look
we
at
got
you.
me and Joy got you.
I had my
we need the
daughter,
stages.
but my
Big
daughter,
time.
I'm not even.
daughter made
Big
my
time.
relationships so much more difficult.
Mhm.
Well, like I said, if you
Oh, she's
found
a
that
little shit.
relationship without my daughter, like without a kid,
Do you know
could
that
jump
literally,
into that.
literally, I'm not even lying. And I do love Abby. I do love her, no matter what you think. But
Here
the
goes the ball.
only fights we ever had, I'm not even making this up.
Mhm.
The only fights we ever have is his daughter, Abby.
Well, you got to
Well, I mean-
understand, like my daughter's.
We don't fight
But you
unless
gotta
it's
understand,
Abby.
Like
Right.
the way I'm telling you my side, my
Yeah.
daughter's coming from the same side. Like that's
no,
all
no,
she
no.
knew.
It
She's
sucks.
she
You
no,
gotta
she
understand
has
that's all she knew.
no.
It's like, oh,
she's
Dad
come a
has-
long
Dad
way
is my
too. She
guy.
has
Dad is-
grown so
Yeah, but-
much, but
And-
she had so many issues,
Yeah.
and she still does.
But just like she
But
says, I'm
she's
trying.
come
you
a
can
long
see
way.
She's trying. Like
Mhm.
she's not like resistant, like saying I'm not going to
No.
do this. Like
Mhm.
bah, bah,
No,
bah,
no,
bah, bah.
no.
Right.
But
right.
daughter
Like,
is
she's
She's
be
good,
like
but
that.
she has rejection issues.
Mhm.
But
She has
also a
mommy-
mother that's an
mommy
alcoholic.
issues.
She has an alcoholic mother that's
Do
not
you
been
do
in
you
her
remember
life.
Jody Coles?
Yeah. She
That's who
friended-
we're
she
talking about.
friended me
That's-
on Facebook.
That's who we're
Yeah, that's
talking
I was like,
about.
who is this? I'm like, who is this?
That-
I
that's
don't
who we're
really
talking
remember
about.
her, but she's on my Facebook.
She's a couple years older than us, but
Yeah.
she was a big
I don't
time
really remember her.
partier in high school, and I'm like, how did you
But-
marry that? But long
She's
in
story
trouble,
short,
man. Don't
She's in
give up
trouble.
hope.
Well, I'm not even thinking about it,
I
honestly.
know, but just live
That's
your
who-
life.
But you
that's
never
who-
know
Live
when
your
it's gonna
life with an
happen.
open
That's-
heart.
I didn't
That's
remember,
all I
I don't
ask.
remember, but she friended me.
Yeah,
on
you never
Facebook.
know when anything
Alright,
can happen.
alright.
You meet
But I'm like,
you know
With an
why?
open heart.
Because oh
Because
no,
again,
we're not
that-
friends.
that can
Are we
change.
friends on Facebook?
With
No,
the
we're
right
not.
woman.
I was gonna say she started friending everybody.
Yeah,
that
any
was
day you
friends
could
with
just
me.
meet somebody
Oh,
and not
is
even
that-
know it.
And that's
Yeah,
when it'll
I-
happen.
Like,
Yep, unexpectedly.
I never
And
talked
that's
to
what will
her. I
happen.
don't even.
But I
know
mean-
her.
It's like I almost felt like sometimes
yeah,
my mom.
I mean, she's
my
she's
mom, I
literally.
would bring home a girl, and my
Well,
mom
maybe
would
I don't know
tell
how
her,
old are you?
would tell her
24.
things like,
Okay,
"You'll
so
never
you're
be
a year
able to
older
live
than me,
this
so
guy.
she's
He
only a
has
year
he's,
older than you.
Very
She's 2 years older than me.
strict
Is
on.
she?
I'm
Would
not
she?
strict, but
Was she in the
he's
same grade?
what's
as
the word
us?
I'm looking
No,
I,
A year older?
my mind is not easily changed.
we,
like
we
I'm
both graduated
once-
what 97.
Hard
track
edge.
I don't remember if she was
Right,
95 or
right.
96.
so,
We were in
and
high school at the
I
same
never,
time, but
you
not
know,
the same
but it's
grade.
not
You gotta
because
remember,
of
I
that. My mom
graduated
doesn't.
early too. I
if my
graduated,
mom
yeah,
knew
I
what happened,
graduated
she
in 3
probably
years.
would.
That's why I took off.
Because
I
she
took-
always
I
used to
did?
see me
Yeah.
locked
I
in,
was also
locked in my
there was
room
another
every
girl
day
that we
and just
that
crying,
was
and
in
she'd be
our
like,
class.
"What's
She
wrong with my
graduated in
son?" But
3
she
years
didn't know
too.
all
So
the
maybe you did
trauma I was
graduate
going
with
through.
her.
I probably did.
Exactly.
Besides,
Probably.
besides my father, she didn't know
96.
about the other stuff.
Oh,
You graduated in
So-
97.
Yeah, all I ask is just live
That's
with an
probably
open
why
heart,
she friend
and
requested.
You never know
That's
what could
exactly
happen.
what it is.
You know, I know you.
That's probably why.
Sounds like
Yep.
you've been
I was like,
heartbroken.
That makes sense.
Yeah, too many times.
I'm not
If
on
you listen to
Facebook really, so-
most of my
I'm not.
songs are my
I only
songs
use it for my
is like a
basically
journal.
family,
All
but
the
I saw that she
crap I've been
requested,
through
and
is
I was like,
what
all
pretty
right,
much
who's this?
is all I
And
talk about in my
added.
songs.
But
No, I know.
It's-
I mean,
it's good
I
for you.
never
That's
talked
great.
to
You
her.
have that
I don't-
outlet.
Yeah,
So
that's
she-
the only thing that honestly
She friend
kept me
requested
going.
Jen,
That's the only
too,
thing that kept me
because-
going.
she knew that I wasn't going
This
to
is like
accept her.
therapy too.
Right,
You know, you get
right.
It is.
together
I
and
mean,
you
Jen's my
speak and
best
you
friend,
talk
so-
about your
Right,
journey and
absolutely.
your story. You know.
It is.
But
Thank
but
you.
Jen
It is like
but
that.
Jen knew, so she
Right,
didn't.
but
Or-
It just breaks my heart when I hear her
She
say
didn't
it,
accept her.
because
but-
I've been there.
Well, now that
I've
I
been
know
there.
this,
And I
it's
have my-
like,
I have so
she
much
better
love
not
in my
come at
heart,
me
and
with
I
any
think you do
questions
too.
because she ain't getting shit out
I
of
think
me.
you're a kind man. I think
She
you
just-
look. You would love love
I mean,
in
she's
your life.
lost.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
just be open
Yeah,
to that.
She's
she seems
lost.
like a lost soul.
Just
she's
be open
lost.
to that.
yeah.
She's like a huge.
She drinks a lot.
I'm getting
alcoholic.
too emotional.
Well,
I'm
right now
getting,
she's
I'm
on
getting
like
too
that
sappy.
Vivitrol
Oh.
shot or whatever it's called. I forget. So
I've been
she's
there, buddy.
sober,
It's not.
but you have
easy.
to get the
I
shot
mean,
once a
It's
month,
not.
and
That's why
she's
life's
been
a
here
journey.
before, so we'll
It's
You
not
learn and
easy.
you grow
We'll see
every
how long
day.
it lasts.
I am
Right.
growing, but it's just
Hmm.
like I said. That's the religious thing. That's just some very hard line on it. It took me forever
What
to
was
get
that?
back here. What
You
was that?
okay?
What?
These cups,
Does it go up your nose?
What's it doing to her?
it's spilt on it.
Yeah, it's spilled on
She had a spiritual attack.
Because
her. She laughs.
I can't.
She laughs.
A wet spiritual
like-
attack?
Yeah.
like for months and months and months I was praying because I kept looking at the church next door saying, God, is this the church for me? And for months and months and months I've been getting hints like random people will come up to me and give me a flyer that says Baptist Church. I was like, no matter where I was, Springfield, Worcester, no matter where I go, I'm getting these Baptist Church pamphlets. I said, this must be God telling me try it. And so
So he tried
we
it.
tried it, and I'm loving it so far.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Well, hopefully that,
So we
that
go every
pastor
Sunday.
can
That's
get that
awesome.
attack from you.
That's
We
awesome.
really do.
That cracks me up. That cracks
You all
me
get
up.
something out of it?
I did. I
Yeah.
did. I love
You
it.
right?
I love it going
Yeah, they
there.
got good music there and everything.
What?
That's awesome. When I was in the Air Force.
I knew it. I was
that's
like,
what
when I go
got
to
me
church.
The music.
And his phone goes off.
Oh man,
My
that-
jingle? I tune up your jingle.
you have no idea how angry
baby.
it makes me when I'm sitting trying to observe the word of God and you hear do 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 do.
Well, he saw me even silence the phone. I'm like, look, I'm turning the volume down.
No, but you have no idea. It's like a burning fire within me. Like,
'Cause you wanna know why.
is this guy?
Satan's in my phone.
Why is this guy not silencing his phone?
Satan's in my phone because when I silence it, it still goes, or it still speaks. It still goes. "Dun-dun-dun."
You think you're happy about getting a new phone? Guess who's happier than you are for getting a new phone? I am.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't Drew the Jew have a T-Mobile phone?
Android.
Right? And what happens
Android.
to his Android? Dre goes, oh, your phone does that too? His phone just regularly goes off. It goes, "Did-it-did-it-did-it." I'm like, yeah, it does it by itself.
You
It
know,
does-
I'm
it's
not,
a
I'm not
notification or
editing his
anything.
name this time. You guys keep bringing up his name. I'm not editing it this time.
You did it.
You said it
You
earlier.
did it first. You did it
You
first.
said it first.
But I don't care. It is what it is at this point.
But I will edit out the profanity like I did the last time on.
I
you.
was good though, right? I haven't sworn.
No,
yet.
No, not much. But last
Sorry.
time, that's
Oh,
all right. Sometimes
know, me too,
we
I'm
get
terrible.
emotional and
Right.
I was,
just
I
happened.
was a good girl.
So what's funny, all Joy's little boyfriends, I named them all.
Joy's little boyfriends.
Through the
He
years.
called
Oh,
years.
you gotta
He called-
understand,
he
we've
called-
known
what
each
did he
other for
call
how
it?
many years?
Joy the Jew?
Too
No,
long.
the international thing. What do you call it?
Joy and her
Tinder
international.
International.
Tinder Interna- he
It's
calls it
almost
Tinder
like 30
International.
years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I call Joy's little
Joy?
journey.
We
on
went,
Tinder
we,
International.
well, apparently she graduated a year before me, but really we went to high school together.
Yeah, we were in the.
West
I've been.
Springfield.
She knows Jen too.
Yep, yep. I've lived in West Springfield.
I have
growing up,
pictures of all of us together in junior high.
Oh my God! Really?
I still have those.
You gotta
Gina
see-
Colasano,
Oh, yeah.
me, Joy, Jen.
Oh yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, we used to hang out. All
He
the
was
time.
friends with
Dom.
Gina. Yeah, Gina's brother
graduated
Dom.
with
He's
Dom.
5
Nice.
years older.
Dom there?
Wow.
Dom.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
So
I
where was
know.
that high school disconnection?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
No, between them two.
I moved.
Between us two?
I moved.
I gotta be honest. I honestly don't remember. I started dating Derek. Ugh.
All right. So I just want to end this night on a good note, and thank you for coming, Vicky and Casey, and
And JoJo.
I appreciate it. I think we had some really good topics that we talked about, and I hope you join us again. And like I said, I really do appreciate you coming out and talking, and I thought it was a great show. And
There's some great stories everybody told, and it was got a little
A
emotional.
little emotional. Let me cross my legs with a little emotional.
Are you changing your gender in the middle of the show?
Hey, no Transformers now.
all right.
So we will see you. Any predictions for football before we take off here? Who do you think? Who you for?
Casey.
Who you for?
Well, I think Philadelphia's gonna win
Nice.
by at least 10 points.
All right.
That's
you
a
like Mahomes,
prediction.
though, huh? No
I
Mahomes.
know.
prediction.
I like Mahomes, but I don't think they have any receivers. I think Philly's on a roll and they're gonna win by 10 points.
I'm gonna go for Kansas City because they're Republican.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Pennsylvania
Brian.
is a bunch of Democrats, so I'm gonna go for the red.
Okay,
I'm
but
going
that's
for the red
not.
team.
All
That's
right.
not okay. So
Let's shoot him.
the show is ended. So
Oh.
I'm just gonna let you. I'm gonna take the L on this one and let you get the W.